Christelyn Karazin, get your facts straight. There's only one dark-skinned activist. There's only one colorism activist. And that's the dark-skinned activist who created the dark-skinned activists, who created the colorism activists, and that's Rashida Strober. So Christelyn Karazin, get your facts straight. I'm here to air out these, but I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for the past really about 2 years about how these Black women on YouTube have been engaged in the disrespect of my intellectual property and my creation. I've been telling y'all this. And YouTube, let me tell you something about YouTube. YouTube is good and bad. Let me talk about the good side of YouTube. YouTube tells it all, even when you're not looking. Because I told y'all, I don't look for these things. I don't go out here and look to see what Black woman, mixed race woman is copying, plagiarizing my work. It comes to me. And by the way, before I go any further, for those of you that do not know, you're about to know, because I'm going to do a lot of explaining in this video and continuously breaking it down so that the truth can be told. My name is Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, creator and inventor of the first platform for dark skin. No one else did that. Anybody else that's speaking on this in any capacity, they are derivatives of my work. And that's a fact. They all know this. Even this Christelyn Karazin, you know what time it is. I'm going to count you in the numbers of disrespectful Black women on YouTube. Now you're being counted. Let me get back, and I'm going to get into the story, presenting facts and evidence of how and when Rashida Strober created this entire discussion on dark skin, colorism, skin tone discrimination that none of these Black women, mixed race women on YouTube or anywhere else ever talked about until they ran into my work. I'm going to get into that. And all of my loyal and faithful followers, y'all know the story, but it's people out there that don't know. So as long as people continue to put out lies and misinformation to the people via social media, I'm going to put out the truth. I'm going to continue to tell the truth. You're going to get the truth right here. Okay? YouTube is a good and a bad thing. The good thing about YouTube, and I just told y'all, I prefaced this video with, I said, I do not look for instances, and maybe I should, but I don't go out and look for instances of people plagiarizing my work. It comes to me. So I'm sitting here on YouTube, minding my business, and all of a sudden I see this video pop up about Christelyn Karazin, and I didn't know it was her. I just looked at what the title was speaking about. The title was Dear Colorism Activist. You're not going to assign another to another what I created. No, Christelyn Karazin, you need to do a fact check before you make videos out there. And here's the thing. Here's what I believe. And I'm going to tell y'all why I believe this when I give you the history of how the entire topic discussion of speaking on dark skin, because Christelyn Karazin, you didn't create this. None of y'all created this. It came online through me, Rashida Strober. That's a fact. Anybody that is ethical, moral, truthful, honest, and upright and does their research, they know this. It's going to all come back to Mama Bear. You're not going to be able to try to write me out of what I created. I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to continue to raise hell, raise my voice against you because you're not being honest. Anyone that does their research knows that the colorism, darkism, I call it darkism, but the colorism, darkism, dark skin discrimination topic, no one talked about that until I came along. What these Black women have done is ripped off my work. That's what they've done all over YouTube. And this is another manifestation of this mafia of people out here that will try to rob Rashida Strober, the dark skin activist, the colorism activist, of my work. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. I will not allow that. In fact, while I'm online here, and I'm going to do this right while I'm online. Some of these people are going to get taken to court. Eventually, I'm going to be filing a federal lawsuit. I want everybody that's watching this to know, because this has been going on for too long, and I'm not going to allow it. In fact, so I got to do something here real quick with my website. Give me a second here. So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna take care of this right now. And in a few minutes, as soon as I could get this taken care of, you will be able to go to colorismactivist.com, because that's who the colorism activist is. It's Rashida Strober. We're gonna handle this. We're gonna handle this in a multiplicity of ways. I will not allow, I want every last one of you out there that's being dishonest, that are complicit in the intellectual property theft of my works. I want you to know that you will not win. You will not win. You will not win. This is not even a battle. This is a war. You're not going to win. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Just let me see if I can set this up real quick. This is very important. I'm not sure if I forwarded the domain name that I actually own. See if we can forward that. So in a few minutes, everyone should be able to go to colorismactivist.com, which is my website. And let me see if I can get there right now. And then I will let you guys know. Should be forwarded there momentarily. Okay, it's processing. All right. So while that is processing, I'm going to continue to speak to you guys on this. So YouTube is a good and a bad thing. Okay. And I just told y'all at the beginning of this video, the dark skin activist does not go out here looking to see who's plagiarizing me, who's misrepresenting dark skin activism and the work that I actually created from my brain and my heart and my soul. I don't go look for this stuff. YouTube, the supporters, the fans, the haters, they come and tell it all. They bring it to me. I do not go look for it. That's what happened this morning. I'm on my channel. I just made a live yesterday speaking on a dark-skinned woman that was playing bodyguard to a light-skinned woman. And understand clearly before I go, I own this topic. I created this topic. No one was speaking about any of this before me. That is a fact. I don't care how many subscribers you got. I don't care how big your channel is. These women are not honest. What they did is they saw what I was doing and they stole, plagiarized, ripped off my work and took it back to channels that they had already created. All this stuff is going to come out. Whether anybody likes it or not, the truth is going to stand. What I just said was facts. Rashida Strober came onto this online community in 2009 and brought what I had been doing from 98 online. Black women, mixed race women saw me. Instead of giving me the credit for it, they went back to channels that they already built that had nothing to do with colorism, that had nothing to do with dark skin discrimination, and they stole from me. Facts. So Christelyn Karazin, get it together. Get it together. Let me get back to how I even became aware that the fact that this woman does not have it together. You don't have it together. You don't have it right. And trust, everybody know that whatever I say on this social media, I will tell you this directly to your face. YouTube pops up with this video talking about dear colorism activists. Oh no, boo. Oh no, boo. You got your facts all wrong. We're not going to do that. I just told y'all I own colorismactivist.com. And in a few minutes, you're going to be able to go to colorismactivist.com. Christelyn Karazin, you need to get your facts together. You need to get your facts together. You have not done your research. And I thank God for YouTube, because YouTube is actually putting these folks on blast. If your title is similar, this is what is happening. Anybody that knows anything about YouTube, and shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's watching this morning. YouTube, if your title is similar to something, then they're going to pop up with similar videos. And that's what happened this morning. I'm getting up this morning, minding my business, going on to my channel. I'll tell you what I went to go do. I actually went to go to the video that I made yesterday, or the live that I made yesterday. I went to go put up my darkism picture that, as some of you have already seen, that I have as the thumbnail on a lot of my videos. And, you know, they have the recommended videos on the side. And because my title was similar, the algorithms, they're going to show videos that are similar to yours. And I looked over, as I always do, kind of glance. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. What the hell is this woman doing? What the hell is she doing? What you have to do? Because you're going to run up into people like me that's not going to take your shit. I'm not going to take people stealing and lying and being dishonest from me. I'm not going to take it lying down. First of all, I'm going to talk about you, and I'm going to say it directly to you that you're dead wrong. And then eventually, as everyone that has really watched my channel, you know, the only thing separating me from a lawsuit is the money to pay the lawyer. I have already spoken to attorneys who have already confirmed that my case is valid. That's already been done. That's all. And I'm not even going to get into the details of that. I have already done my due diligence. People say, well, Rashida, why you ain't suing? I got these haters, these liars, these people that condone black women coming on my channel, stealing from me, creating offshoots. Now you got this person fraudulently misrepresenting who the colorism activist is when I actually own the damn website and the domain name, which demonstrates that you haven't done your due diligence. You have not done, Christelyn Karazin, your research, else you would have never made a video with that title. That was stupid. So I got these people coming up on here. They're haters. They're envious. They're jealous. They have all different motives. The only motive they don't have is the truth. They say, well, you haven't sued yet. The only thing, and I believe this because God can do anything, I believe there's $1 million donor out there. Let me get $1 million donation and see how fast I go pay these attorneys to file this lawsuit in federal courts. And we're going to see, because guess what's going to happen? When this case gets filed in federal court, the intellectual property theft, because that's what it is, of the dark-skinned activist work, my intellectual property from my books, my plays, when this goes to court, the facts are going to come out. The facts. Listen to me carefully. The facts that I have been ranting, screaming, talking, yelling, whatever you want to say about for about 2.5 years, they're going to come out. People going to get subpoenaed. People going to have to go under oath. It's going to be depositions. Let me tell you the facts. So you can say whatever you want to say about me. I could care less, because at the end of the day, I got one main thing on my side, and that is the truth. Everything that I have said has been the truth. I have been robbed, stolen, ripped off, and taken from by Black people on this YouTube, and that is a fact. And when that money comes, when that big money donation comes in, and I'm able to finally pay this attorney to file this case in a federal court of law, the facts, and this is going to be public for the smart ones out there. that's gonna go and do their research. I like people like that. I welcome those. For the intelligent people out there that's gonna go do their due diligence, it's gonna be on public record, and you will be able to go in and read the transcripts, read the case, and you're gonna be able. You know what, Ramon? I'm not even worried about that. What I'm more concerned about right now, you say I got the lipstick on my teeth. I don't even care. I care about the truth. You're going to be able to go in, but thank you for telling me, and read those court documents and let the facts laid out. And everything that I am saying and have said for the past 2 years about people ripping off my work is going to be vindicated. It's going to be vindicated. Period. Period. Some of you don't understand how the legal system works in different respects in terms of fact finding. But what I could tell you is the facts. You have to come with the truth and the facts. You have to lay out the evidence. I got evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence that I am the only person in this world that has been doing this. In fact, I created this brand of work called dark skin activism, called colorism activism. It is the brainchild of Rashida Strober, no one else. And I want to make clear to everyone that is watching this today, make sure you share this video and make sure you like it, because I'm giving you the facts, that the people that have ripped off and stolen my work, they had built channels and subscribers already. But it was on a different topic. Again, for the intelligent ones, go do your research. Fact check everything I'm saying. I welcome it. Okay. And Elena Eisel, you're right. Y'all know I've been shouting Cola Boo from day one. People are even copying me on that because they never talked about Cola Boo. Didn't even know who Cola Boo was until Rashida Strober came along. You didn't know who Cola Boo was. You didn't know because I'm the person that actually said she's the mother of the dark skin movement. I said that. Nobody else said that. Find me a place where somebody else said that before me. 3 years ago, Cola Booth actually honored me in her book as the dark skin activist, because even she knows. Even she knows. And I'm going to always respect Cola Booth, because Cola Booth is the honest one here. She came in the 90s along with me. So with that being said, that's a good segue. That's a very good segue to give y'all the history of the colorism activist, aka the dark skin activist Rashida Strober. Let me break it down to you how I created this entire lane. And I hope you're watching, Christelyn Karazin, because you did not do your due diligence. You did not do your research. And there is nothing worse than a person that does not do their adequate research, that goes out spewing misinformation, that goes out misleading people because they're making videos using these terms, misleading the people. It's nothing worse than a person that does that. You have to get your facts straight. You have to get the truth out. And the truth teller, Rashida Strober, aka the world's first and only dark skin activist, aka the colorism activist. And before I get into the history, let me go and see if I forwarded the domain name that I've been owning for quite some time. Let's see, colorismactivist.com, so I can let y'all know whether or not y'all can go ahead and go to colorismactivist.com. I hope you're watching, Christelyn Karazin, because I'm giving you a lesson here in the facts, a history lesson in how the colorism movement was created. Okay. I got to see if this has been forwarded yet to my website. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. If it's there yet. There we have it. So now what we're going to do real quick before I get into a history lesson for you, Christelyn Karazin. And for everybody that's watching, I'm going to share my screen so that I can show and prove, because y'all know I'm all about facts. I don't play, I don't lie. I'm not a liar. There's nothing worse than a liar. Remember what I said. So y'all are going to now watch me go to a new window, and I'm going to type in colorism activist. Make sure I spell it right. Activist.com. Y'all see that? Colorismactivist.com. Y'all gonna see where it goes to. It goes to my website. There you have it. So you can go to your browser right now and type in colorismactivist.com, and this is where it's going to take you. Okay? Everybody got that? That's the first lesson here. You got that, Christelyn Karazin? Make sure you get that. Make sure you understand that. Stop the screen sharing. Real quickly, try to read some of y'all comments on here, because we got a whole lot to talk about here today. Nubian Nightingale, you said, good morning, Rashida. Anybody with a bird brain should have the sense to do research themselves. You can go back 5 or 6 years ago, and you was the only one talking about colorism. There you have it. So you mean to tell me that these people just popped up with it out of their head, when me talking about colorism and Kendrick Lamar is the whole thing that spurred the online conversation about colorism? You mean to tell me none of y'all saw any of the millions and millions of hits online that this beef regarding Kendrick Lamar and what I perceived as colorism and darkism? You mean to tell me none of them saw it? I'll wait. Eliana Izzy said, read your comment. You said, right. You said you have a video about colorism that's 10 years old. You done did your research. Most of these women are talking about it because it's a trending topic. And who made it trend? Only one person, Rashida Strober. That would be me. Now, y'all can say, some of y'all gonna say you're a narcissist. A lot of people gonna call me a narcissist for me telling the truth and for me defending my legacy and for me calling out these people that are ripping off and plagiarizing my work. Well, if you want me to be a narcissist for that, then I'll take that. I'll take that for telling the truth. Nubian Nightingale, you said, none of these folks would be popping if it was not for you. While some of them have some decent content, they simply stole your work and ran with it. We all know you made this topic mainstream. Thank you. I got some honest people on here. I got some honest truth tellers on here. And it is not, and I want to be very clear, I am not on here to necessarily ask you to agree with me. This is not what this is about. This is about agreeing with what is factual, what is the truth. Has nothing to do with Rashida Strober wanting you to agree with Rashida Strober. No. This is about asking you to agree with what is the truth, what is factual. So I have to say to the people that's coming on here that are spewing the facts and spewing the truth, I have to tell you, thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that more than my words could even express, because I have had so many people lie and rip me off and steal and misrepresent my work and try to pass it off as their own. This has been going on since 2015. Since 2015, okay? Since 2015. And the thing about it is, Elania, is the misrepresentation of the truth of who started this. You can't accord what I've created to someone else. I'm not going to allow you to do that without me speaking for myself, speaking up for myself. So let me get into this whole thing of why we're even here talking about skin tone discrimination, colorism, darkism. How the question is, I'm not, you know what, let me backtrack, because I'm going to answer your question. I see some of these questions popping up. 4-4, you said, why can't you share? You should let people talk about their experiences as well. I like your channel and others who talk of this issue. Why can't I share? Well, I think a better question is, why are Black women stealing from me and ripping me off? Why can't they be honest? I think that's the issue. You should ask yourself, because the question that you just posed has already been answered. You're asking me, why can't I share? I already have shared. I already have given freely. I gave my books for free on my website, which have been ripped off and stolen from. I gave this channel for free. Y'all not paying me. Where my money at? So the real criminals, the real ripoff artists, are the people who are stealing from me. So when you ask me the question of why can't I share, it's so loaded with, it's nonsensical, because I've shared and people have stolen and people have ripped me off. People have ripped me off in terms of creating whole channels based on my work. I've spent countless hours on the phone as the dark-skinned activist, the colorism activist, before anybody even cared about it, counseling people for free about their darkism and colorism issues. That's called sharing. I've given y'all video after video after video after video after video of my commentary, my original thoughts of my creation of dark-skinned activism, colorism activism, for free. You ain't paid me for it. I've wrote a book called How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet, the first motivational book for dark-skinned females, and gave it away at my website, colorismactivist.com, for years for free. And what did Black women do? They stole it. I don't know what else you want me to do. You saying share? I'm the queen of sharing. Talk about the queen of dark skin. I'm the queen of sharing. Call me the queen of sharing. So in that sense, your question doesn't make sense. Makes no sense. So let me get to the history. Let me get to the history. Growing up as a little girl, and a lot of you know this story because, again, I shared it. I'm just dumbfounded by this issue of sharing after I've been sharing for years, and these people have been stealing and ripping me off for years and not even paying, because that's what you do when you steal. You don't pay, you take it. There is a story I wrote called A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story, which I shared for free and people stole, that details my struggles growing up as a dark-skinned young lady. And I was, at that time, nobody was talking about dark skin. Nobody was doing what I do, what I created. This dark skin activism, colorism activism, it came from me, out of my life experience. It ain't come off of YouTube. You didn't create shit. Christelyn Karazin, you better take note. You better take note, because you got your facts all screwed up. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Colorism activism, AKA dark skin activism, came from Rashida Strober's life experience. But as a young child experiencing acts of darkism and colorism, I couldn't articulate it. But I knew that it was something right in the deferential treatment between my dark-skinned, nappy-headed self. And see, they'll watch this video and copy this. They copy everything I do. I just want people to notice. They will watch this particular video where I'm telling my story and go make an offshoot, when none of these bitches ever thought to talk about this. I have to call them that, because it's just foul shit that I can't respect. I can't respect liars and inauthentic paradigms and stories. I don't respect that. It didn't come from you. You looking at the originator. You're looking at the organic nature of where dark skin activism, AKA colorism activism, came from. And it came from my life, because we're talking about it in terms of activism. There was never an activist. I created the entire term, dark skin activist, colorism activist. That came from Rashida Strober. Nobody else created that. Name the person that created that before me. You can't. The person doesn't exist. Came from my life experience. This whole idea of being an activist, an advocate for dark skin. It came from my life experience. And you can't take that. You could copy it, but you can't take it. So, as I began to grow into my teenage years, into an adult, I never let this stuff go because it continued to happen. Darkism, what I call it, continued to happen. And my burning desire was to find out why. Why is this happening in the Black community? And there was nobody. I didn't even know about Cola Booth then, because I'm gonna tell y'all how that came about. There was not one soul on this earth that did what Rashida Strober does. Nobody. YouTube didn't exist. So don't come with that. And any bitch that's talking about this on YouTube, where your track record of talking about it offline? Where your track record? I've written books, community lectures, spoke about it in schools, plays. Google me. You better go Google dark-skinned activists. As I begin to develop my worldview, I just kept talking about it and kept looking and searching. And I actually looked for a person that does dark skin activism, colorism activism that I do right now. The person didn't exist. The person didn't exist, period. And I want everybody to know that I have written a book, and I might just release the version that's, not even completed. It's called Inventing Dark Skin Activism. And I think I'm going to change the name to Inventing Dark Skin Activism and Colorism Activism, the Rashida Strober story. That's going to be the new name. In fact, I'm going to go switch it up today, where I tell the history of how I created the entire lane. The book is actually already written. I'm just giving y'all a brief right now. Let's go to the downloads. Let's go to the downloads here. The book is already written. It's just I need to go in and I need to edit the book. This is the rough draft. And you know what? I ain't got a problem with showing it because my stuff is copywritten, which is why I'm going to be able to bring a claim against these people in a federal court because this stuff is already copywritten stuff. This is the book. This is the manuscript. As you guys can see, it's right here. I'm laying it all down. I'm laying out the facts. And I knew I had to do this because of unscrupulous liars on the internet misrepresenting what I created. So what I might go and do is I might just release this version. I normally edit the book and do all of that. I might just release the unedited version of this and then go and update it because I'm adding chapters. I got to add a chapter about how Black women on YouTube have ripped off and plagiarized my work. I got to add a chapter about that. Dark skin glossary of terms. These are things that people never ever seen before. People never seen this stuff before. You guys can't see the manuscript. Let me share the screen so you can see the manuscript. I thought you were seeing the manuscript, but this is the manuscript right here. This is my book that I wrote called Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story. It's already written, as you can see. It's the book right here. And I wrote this book to lay out the history because I had a feeling as time went by that people were going to copy, plagiarize, and try to misrepresent what I created. And I'm not going to allow people to do that. Okay. So this book right here is actually the history of how I created the entire dark skin activism, aka colorism activism lane. It's right here. I've laid it out. I've started at the very beginning and I'm giving you guys a brief of what's in this book. And like I said, I still have to add chapters to it because I have to add the chapter on how Black women on YouTube have ripped off my work since 2015. So this is the book right here. This is the book right here that I'm very proud of. And as I say, I might just release this version and just update it as I add chapters. That's what I might do. But this is it right here. This is it right here. And obviously, I'm going to have to add the portion on colorism activism because I created it all of it, every last bit of it. Every last bit of it. This is the book right here. And I do believe that I have, there's the book cover online. Thank you, Eliza. You said you really had to put in the work because we barely had good internet in the late 90s. These women have it easy. You wrote books, plays, and have given lectures. Exactly. They're copying my blueprint. That's the point. None of what they're doing or saying is original. It all comes from Rashida Strober. Period. 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 444, but I know a YouTuber who said you and her started around the same time and she doesn't know why. What? Child, please, that's a lie. You're lying. You're lying. She's lying. Let me slow this down. You said, but I know a YouTuber who said she and me started around the same time and she doesn't know why I'm mad because she used to show you love on your page. What? That's a lie. There was, again, and that's why I'm writing this book, to tell the truth, because these people are popping up out of the woodwork lying. None of them have my track record. People, do we understand that? That's why I wrote my book, Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story. Because look at all you haven't even named this person's name. You haven't, I mean, I would love to know who this person is. They're not telling the truth, whoever they are, because I could tell you right now, when I started dark skin activism in 1998, if that person existed, because I was looking for that person, and because the person didn't exist, I became that person. I would have found that person. So you're lying. They're lying. It's a lie. It's a lie. No one else, y'all need to understand me clearly because I'm spitting nothing but facts here today. No one else has my track record. No one else. No one else has my proven historical track record. This is my book. This is the book cover right here. Inventing Dark Skin Activism in 1998, the Rashida Strober story. And I'm going to add Inventing Colorism Activism because I invented it all. Nobody else did that. And this is the manuscript right here that I wrote this actually starting probably about 5 years ago, but I've written other books. So it takes a while to get everything written, and then new things keep happening, which is why I haven't released it. And then I also wrote Token Dark Girl last year. So I was working on that, but this is the book. It's laid out right here. It's all here. I could release this book on Amazon right now if I wanted to. I could just go ahead and release it because I wrote it a long time ago. Who else has written this? Who else has done something like this? Who else has done what has gone so far as to write books about how they invented dark skin activism? Who? Nobody else. I'm showing you the actual proof. You think I could just pull up a manuscript? This thing is 245 pages long. You see that at the bottom? You think I could just pull this up out the sky if I'm making stuff up? This is blood, sweat, and tears and actual work. Not watching somebody's video on YouTube and copying and stealing. Not going to somebody's website site and stealing their books. This is my actual written work out of my brain, and I cannot just pop this up impromptu in a YouTube live video. This is real. Period. You think for 1 minute that I could just pop this book up out of the sky? This is a real book that I wrote, Token Dark Girl. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody else. This is where they're getting all this stuff from. This is where it's all coming back to me. It's Christelyn Karazin. You didn't. Your main problem is, in this particular regard, you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't do your due diligence. Who's written books? Who's written more books on dark skin than me? You think I can just pop these books up on the live? You think I can just pop up a dark skin woman's revenge? By the way, this is the book version. Actually, I have a play version where I play all 5 women and been doing it since 2006. Google me. Who has that track record? Who? What at? So 444, she lying. She lying. Period. Hate me or love me, I got the facts. I got the goods. I got the blueprint. That's really why they mad. All they have is a already made YouTube channel and subscribers and how to market. That's what they have. They don't have the blueprint and the creativity and the distinction of being the originator. They don't have that. They don't, because if they did, they'd have the books. Y'all can be mad all y'all want. The haters can be mad all y'all want, but you can't beat these facts. And by the way, this is all copywritten with the United States Copyright Office, which is why I'm going to bring a lawsuit. This is the reason why I have the leverage, because I got the facts. I got the truth, not just the YouTube channel of plagiarized work. That's not what by the way, I also own colorismactivist.com. Been owning that for some time now, which by the way, makes you go to the website, Christelyn Karazin, especially you, colorismactivist.com, colorismactivist.com. We're going to get this right. We're going to get this. We're going to get the truth out. We're going to get the truth out. So let me get back to the origin story of how I created the entire lane of dark skin activism and colorism activism and became the world's first colorism activist and the world's first dark skin activist, and brought it online for others to steal, because that's what happened. So going back to when I was growing up, and by the way, I'm a child of the 80s, teenager in the 90s, and in my 20s in the early 2000s. So in 98, before this, I want to say I went through hell, the same hell that I go through online, and the rejection that I went through online with people rejecting the ideas. I went through that in my family. I've told this story before. Those of you that really follow my work, you already know that I was even kicked out of a family member's house because I kept talking about dark skin. I wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't let, this is before anybody even talked about it. So I say, all y'all are bums, y'all are thieves and liars. I'm the originator, period. So what I decided to do after getting the rejection from my family where they didn't want to address it, I decided to move it out into the larger world. Nobody else has this origin story. If you hear somebody else saying this, they fucking copy me, which is dumb. You're not Rashida Strober, the dark skin activist. But this is what these people do. They'll try to adopt your whole life and your whole persona. This is what they'll do. They'll watch me, listen to everything I'm saying, like my light-skinned best friend, which people have lied and stolen. I've been talking about my light-skinned best friend for years. She's been a part of my plays for years. It's just ridiculous in terms of how people steal from you because of YouTube. I told y'all YouTube was a good and a bad thing. Remember that. YouTube is a good and a bad thing. YouTube is a good thing, and it's the reason why I'm calling this chick out, making this video, because they put the recommendations. So I was able to see it, to come on here and tell the truth about who the colorism activist is, and that's Rashida Strober. It's only one. The creator of colorism activism, dark skin activism, colorism activism, and dark skin activism is one and the same, and it's only one creator. So let's go back to the origin story. So I decided to move out into the larger world and look for answers as to why I was experiencing differential treatment based upon my skin tone and hair. And I will never forget, this is the birth of dark skin activism, aka colorism activism, in '98. I will never forget, and I have the magazine cover right over there, Alec Weck, I still have it. I was in the grocery store, and this was in 1997, and I saw Alec Weck on the cover of Elle magazine, super duper black, and she had on a white outfit, and I just could not believe that Alec Weck was on the cover of this magazine. And I bought the magazine. It was, even though I was a broke college student, I coughed up the money and bought. I think I spent my lunch money that day, or my bus money, or whatever. I was walking, whatever. I spent my money, my last little money, and I kept that magazine. In fact, hold on, let me go over here and see if I can find the magazine. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Whoop, there it is. Now, do you think a person that's lying could just pull up stuff like this impromptu? Do you think the real dark skin, these liars, this separates me from all the fakes. You can't go back and just recreate this stuff like impromptu in a live video. Like, this is an impromptu live. You can't just make this stuff up. You have to be the real fucking deal. Christelyn Karazin, you didn't do your due diligence. This is how people lose cases in the court of law, because they don't do their research. They don't do their due diligence. This is the magazine that I bought back in 1997. I kept it for years. 1997. And if you don't believe me, hold up. Let me see if we could find it. Let me see if the date is on here. There it is. November 97. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to put it up to the screen. It's there. November 97. Right there. Google this. I kept it for all these years. And this is what spurred the dark skin colorism activism, because I got an opportunity at St. Petersburg College, which is my undergraduate, as an undergraduate student, to speak during Harambe. And I write about all of this in my book, Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and release, because all these people lying, people misrepresenting who created this entire lane. You ain't gonna do that. I already wrote the book, bitch. You're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna allow it. It's not gonna happen. I'm giving y'all a brief today. So at St. Petersburg College, I was given the opportunity to speak on anything I wanted to talk about during African American History Month. And this has always been the burning issue with me, is this skin color hair issue. Why was it all started with me? Why was I being treated differently? And then when I went to high school, I was talked about. The guys always called me names, and you know, it was terrible. High school and middle school. And then that's the part that I also need to let you guys know too, in terms of the development of dark skin activism, aka colorism activism, is I wanted at its central tenet, which now people are starting to copy because they're listening to everything I say and not giving credit. One of the central reasons why I created dark skin activism was I wanted the attention of the Black man. I wanted them to see me as beautiful. That's at the heart of why I created dark skin activism, aka colorism activism. That's a part of it. So there has to be a catalyst though, something that spurs the movement into action, something that makes the movement go. And this was the catalyst when I got that opportunity in 1998 to speak at St. Petersburg College during Harambe. I decided I'm going to talk about dark skin. And that gave, and I still have remnants of I wrote the speech on a manila card, and I don't have all of the entire speech, but I have maybe 3 or 4 pages, and it's packed away in my things. But I wrote the speech, and this is all verifiable. All you need to do is call St. Petersburg College, and I'm going to tell you how this is verifiable. We'll get to that. So I wrote the speech, gave the speech, and that gave birth to dark skin activism. And the same pushback that I get online, I got that same pushback in '98 before YouTube ever even came along. This is the original. Y'all see the fakes out there. I'm giving you the origin story of how the entire colorism activism, aka dark skin activism lane came about. So this is the part that I'm telling you that's verifiable to all of this. There was a $200 prize, and there were other people who were speaking about other topics. And I ended up winning the prize. In St. Petersburg College, I went to the bookstore and they cut me a check. Now, this is a public institution. Don't think for 1 minute that they don't have copies of all of their financial dealings. They're a public university. They have to account for everything. So for the real smart person, the real person that wants to say, oh, is she saying she invented colorism and dark skin activism? Go do your due diligence. I'm telling you what to do. I'm helping you. You should be thanking me. You can actually go to St. Petersburg College if you're one of them real smart ones, real diligent ones, and you can go and say, hey, I want to get a copy of the $200 check that was cut to Rashida Strober back in 1998 for a speech contest you won talking about dark skin. It's there. Everything I say checks. I don't have to lie. I don't have to watch other Black women's videos and lie and steal. I don't even watch their videos. Here's the thing. I didn't watch Christelyn Karazin video. I know a lot of y'all might clown me on that, but this is how I am. I just saw it and I was like, wait a minute. And I already knew what time it was. I didn't even need to watch to know that you were not going to be honest in that video. And I bet you I'm right. For those of you that say, well, Rashida, you should watch. I ain't gotta watch. I know what these women are doing. I'm hip to it. God is revealing this to me because I wasn't even thinking about anything about nobody plagiarizing me. I'm telling you this morning, YouTube popped that up in my suggestion. God is revealing it to me as we move along. So I hope y'all paying attention. I might have to give y'all a test on this because one day we're gonna have, this is gonna be taught in universities. How did dark skin activism, AKA colorism activism, come along? This is the history of it. So real quickly, St. Petersburg College, speaking about Alec Weck. And of course, I cannot discount the fact that honestly, it really didn't start here. This was just, again, the catalyst that pushed it along. It started with me being treated differently as a dark-skinned, nappy-headed girl coming up. That's where it came from. And I continue to ask the burning question, why? And when you ask the burning question, why, you're going to get to the answer. You're going to get to the truth. I've learned that. Real quick, I want to let everybody know as well, so you understand my academic background and the framework of how I'm thinking and why I despise plagiarists. I have a bachelor's degree in history and a master's degree in political science from the University of South Florida. And by the way, my thesis on the dark-skinned people of Sierra Leone is available at the University of South Florida for anybody to read. So fast forward, I began speaking in the community. Nobody else has this story. And if they're making up this story just now, they've listened to me. It comes from me, which is stupid because you're not Rashida Strober. Why do you want to be Rashida Strober? Be yourself. You can never go back and recreate what I've done with dark skin activism, AKA colorism activism. You can't do that. It's already been done. You're not the originator. It's only one, and that's me, Rashida Strober. So I started going into the community. First person to ever do this. Speaking, nobody cared to do it because nobody gave a fuck about dark skin. They didn't care. I know, I was there. I looked for these people. If there was a person, I would have known them. I would have known them. I would have known them because I created a lane that was not there. You know how there's roads that are built that there used to be dirt and mush and water, nothing there? That's what happened with dark skin activism, AKA colorism activism. There was nothing there. I created the road. I built it. You didn't do that. Christelyn Karazin, you didn't do your research. Shame on you. You didn't do your due diligence. Shame on you. So I started going into the community, churches, libraries, schools, lecturing about this thing called darkism, AKA colorism. Dark skin, this is all dark skin activism. It's what I called it that. You didn't give it that name. Nobody else gave it that name. If you say somebody else did, you're lying. I continued to develop it. Nobody was speaking on it. I want to make this clear. Nobody was talking about dark skin. Nobody. Then I ran into the work of Cola Booth. Now, this was after, and I write about this in my book, Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story, which I just need to go on and release right now so y'all can read it and get all the facts, you, including you, Christelyn Karazin, because you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't, and I know you know who I am. They try to pretend to act like they be lying. They be lying. Y'all are so jealous and so envious and so unscrupulous trying to pass something off that you didn't create that you can't even find it within yourself to give respect and honor to the person that created it. They so full of it. This is why I don't respect these folks. But the truth is always going to win out. You're not going to win. The truth is. So I started going into the community. And again, after giving birth to the science of dark skin activism in '98 with the speech given about Alec Weck and the dark skin things that she was going through, I began to I became the dark skin activist. This is what I was doing. Just what I'm doing online is what I've been doing for years. The only person in the world to do this. Ran into the work of Cola Booth. And Cola Booth was speaking about how dark skin, this is why I assigned her the mother of, and nobody else has done this. I want to make this clear because people are lying. I, Rashida Strober, not any other female on YouTube, they're lying. Listen to me clearly. I assigned Cola Booth the mother of the dark skin movement. That's why she honored me. That's one of the reasons why she honored me in her book, Volcano Woman. I have it right over there. I done showed it many a times. Cola Booth saw my video and she passed. This was years before anybody else started talking about her. They all copying me. I got the receipts. The years and date stamps don't lie. Y'all can go back and look at my videos. Somebody on here, they know me so well. They said I had a video on colorism that's 10 years old. That says it all. So I ran into the work of Cola Booth and I assigned her the mother of the dark skin movement simply out of respect. I mean, she could have came along before me, or I assumed it was before me, just because I just wanted to give her that respect. And nobody else was talking about it. But she was not doing, and she will tell you this, Cola Booth was not an activist. She did not create dark skin activism, something that I created. Dark skin activism that I created, and I go into detail in my book, where these are the things I do. I started talking about it, again, through community lectures, to children, to churches, and writing books. I've written more books. Christelyn Karazin, you should did your due diligence, but I'm gonna help you out. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. Anybody. Nobody else. This is where a lot of these people are stealing from. And this is where these books are, where my commentary comes from. My books. Darkism. Nobody's written more books on dark skin. I created this whole entire lane. They even tried to assign this whole dark skin thing to Lupita Nyong'o. What? Lupita Nyong'o is a benefactor. I like Lupita, but she benefited from my work, period. Been doing this stuff way before she came along. This is what's been going on. People don't want to give you credit, but I'm taking it because you can't have it because I created it. It's mine, period. You have the track record of building something, it belongs to you. No matter what anybody else tries to come along and say, if you have the evidence of the track record that you created, it belongs to you. And that's in anything. That's in anything, not just dark skin activism. So I started writing books and plays. 2006. Listen to the dates. I gave y'all 98 is when I started. From 98 to 2006, before YouTube, before Instagram, before Facebook. From 98 to 2006, I was doing lectures in the community. I was a member of the Uhuru movement, helping my community, doing real community activist work. Now, who else could say this? Now, they'll probably make up and lie and say they was doing this, but I actually have people in St. Pete, again, all verifiable. That's why I have no problem showing this beautiful face, because I don't have to lie. I have the facts on my side. So then in 2006, I started doing plays. And I wrote a play called A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober Story, 2006. 2006. Now, the only other person, because I'm honest, see, I tell the truth. I'm not a liar and a plagiarist and a thief. Christelyn Karazin, you should have did your due diligence. The only other person that wrote books before me was Cola Booth. See how honest I am? See how easy that is to tell the truth? You ain't gotta lie. Give you a lesson in being honest and telling the truth, not trying to steal and rob from another black woman because you intimidated or you want what she got, but you ain't did the work. You want what I got. You want the books. You want the commentary, but you ain't never did the work. You never did the brain work. Fuck out of here. Can't have it because you ain't do the work. So let me show you how it's done the proper way. Cola Booth wrote books about talking about dark skin and colorism, not necessarily as a topic, but she talked about it before I did. You can go and do your research. You can go do your research. But I'm the first person to focus my work, my books, my plays, my commentary, my activism only on dark skin. I'm the first person to do that. Christelyn Karazin, I created the lane. You should have done your due diligence. You didn't, but I'm helping you out right now. Because we're going to get this shit straight. As long as I'm alive and breathing. So in 2006, I started the Dark Skin Activist Tour. Listen to the years. 2006. That was before YouTube. 2006 was well before. And my work is copywritten with the Writers Guild of America. I have all the copyrights. Again, receipts, boo. I deal with receipts. Christelyn Karazin, you should have done your research. You should have done your due diligence. You didn't. So I wrote this play, A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober Story. And then, due to audience response, I wrote the sequel to the play and called it A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. At first, I called it A Dark-Skinned Girl's Revenge, the Joma Legend Revenge of the Dark-Skinned Girl. I have the originals right here. Nobody else is doing this. You bitches are all stealing. None of you have this roadmap. None of you. They wish they did. I know they wish that because it would actually add credibility than just being a YouTube blogger. It would add credibility, but they don't have this. They don't have it. Ileana Izzy, the year was 1997. I love giving y'all this history. Okay. I love giving y'all this history. So let me continue. So I wrote A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, and that's what really spurred the A Dark-Skinned Activist tour. And no, she didn't, Ileana, as you said. Christelyn didn't even do her research. She didn't. That's why I'm helping her. That's why I'm gonna make this gonna be a long one today. I'll probably be on here. No, what I've been on here, an hour already. I'm breaking it down to y'all, the truth. Anybody could have done this history and found out that Rashida Strober is the originator and all these other people are ripping off and copying my work. Anybody could do this, but I'm helping you. And I've helped y'all by writing the book called Inventing Dark-Skinned Activism, the Rashida Strober story. So let me continue. So in 2009, somebody was very smart. We're in 2019. I love it. I'm going to release that historic video. I brought dark skin, the whole colorism, dark skin activism thing to the internet. Somebody on here earlier said, I have a video that's 10 years old, and you're right. That's the year 2009 that I decided to take everything that I was doing as the world's first and only dark skin activist, world's first and only colorism activist. I decided to take all that stuff I've been doing from 98 up until 2009 to the internet. I did. Now, before I get into that, give y'all that history of that, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. If you believe in my work and you're upset about people plagiarizing and stealing and you want to support the work, make a donation. And if you want to, I know that there's $1 million donor out there, a big money donor out there that has the funds, so I can go ahead and take this money to this lawyer and hire this attorney to take these people to federal court, because that's what's going to end up happening eventually. I'm going to fight them. Even if I have to do it myself, I can file my own case in federal court. Don't think for 1 minute that I'm afraid of you intellectually and legally. I'm not. It's just the best way to do this is through an attorney. I'm smart enough to realize that. So that I know that there's a donor out there. And that's why I continue to push my GoFundMe and my PayPal. You can go to my PayPal. I just put it in the description box. It's icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Make a donation. You can also go to my GoFundMe. I put that information in there, and you can easily find my GoFundMe by Googling Rashida Strober. You can do that, and the GoFundMe is going to pop up, which the same person on YouTube actually copied my GoFundMe. They've been ripping me off for years. This is what's been going on. No money being paid to me, no credit, just stealing and stealing and stealing and taking and taking and taking. That's darkism. That, my friends, stealing from the dark-skinned activist is darkism. The irony. Go to my website, colorismactivist.com, colorismactivist.com, and you can purchase my books. Now, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against is $25, folks. And I will send you an autographed copy of my book. And A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, $25. I will send you an autographed copy of my book, okay? These are $25 a piece. And Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, is $30 at my website. So real quick, so there's several ways that you can purchase my books. You can either go to my GoFundMe, pay the $25 or the $50 if you want to get 2 books, or the $80 if you want to get all 3 books, so that's what it will come to, or you can pay $30 for the Token Dark Girl. You can go to my GoFundMe and do that, or you can go to my PayPal and do that, or you can go to the website. So real quickly, let's go to my website here, colorismactivist.com. Colorismactivist.com. Let's type that again, because I want to reiterate that. You should have done your research, Christelyn Karazin. But here it is, colorismactivist.com. Colorismactivist.com. All right, so you can go to my website, and as you can see, you can read up on the history. Some of the history that I've given you today is already there. And you can see that the book, Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, is available. It's $30. And I'll send you an autographed copy of it. Now, if you want to get the other books from my website, you just need to go to shop and you can get the books there. Or if you want to, like I said, if you want to go to my GoFundMe and do it that way, you can do it that way, whatever is most beneficial to you. So let's get back to 2009 when I brought everything I'd been doing and created regarding dark skin activism, aka colorism activism, to the internet, which nobody did before me and nobody. I am the sole creator of dark skin activism, aka colorism activism. Nobody can say they did that. If they say they did it, they're lying. Do your research. So I brought it to the internet, and you know, before, this is another thing y'all can do. Y'all can actually Google me. This is important. So I want people to understand, before I even came online, I had already made some headway in the mainstream press. No one else can say this. If they say it, they're lying. This is why I'm saying this is my work that I created, because you can clearly see the dates. No one else can say that they've done what I've done and that they preceded me. You can't say that. And the internet is one of the biggest vehicles for research, where you can just do a Rashida Strober search or a dark skin activist search and it's going to come up. So for example, shout out to the person that created me a wiki back in 2015. I have no idea who did it, but this person did their research on me. And as you can see, look at these dates. I'm going to drop the wiki in there. I'm helping you, Christelyn Karazin. You should have done your research before you go running and erroneously representing someone else, calling them by a title that I actually created, okay? A lane that I created. You're not making sense. So let me drop the link there in the description box. Let's go back to the wiki. I did not create this. Someone, when the Kendrick Lamar debacle came, somebody created it. So as you can see, Rashida Strober is an American playwright and dark-skinned activist. Strober is known for her play A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. You can go read that. Strober is also the dark-skinned activist working for the acceptance of dark-skinned people. Who else was doing this? This is 2015, but you're sitting up here fucking calling somebody else and giving somebody else credit for what I've done, are you crazy? People are just, it just baffles me how people just come online, don't do research, and mislead other people. So before I came online and Black people knew me, the white press had already respected my work. So as you can see, in March of 2011, the dates don't lie. The article is right here. Strober, actor, writes, performs solo plays about her urban experience. This was me talking about my dark skin plays. Okay. I still have the original article myself. Then 2013, look at the dates. Local African-American playwright tackles skin tone prejudice. Bay News 9. Nobody else was doing this. This is laughable to me, how other people try to give other people credit for my work. You're thieves. You're liars. You are not the originator. Look at these dates. And as you can see, from 98 to these years, this is progressing. My fatal mistake was actually bringing it online, because that's when Black people started stealing from me. 2014, look at this. 2014, I wrote an article called The Dark-Skinned Female Beauty Revolution, published in the Weekly Challenger. 2014. We're concerned with the date and what I was talking about. No one else has done what I've done. Again, we're talking about proven track records. Mine is verifiable with articles and interviews. No one else has done what I've done. I created this blueprint of dark skin and colorism activism that Black women followed and stole. Period. 2015 comes along. And in the wake of the Kendrick Lamar debacle, activist slams Kendrick Lamar over light-skinned fiance. This spearheaded the entire discussion. You see people talking about light skin now. This is where it came from. They were not doing it before. And then it followed up with other articles. And then Donkey of the Day. This is years of work that I had already put in. People need to understand this. Black women online talking about colorism, you didn't create it. I created the blueprints. Nobody else was doing this before 2015. Facts. This is where this whole debacle with Kendrick Lamar and people saying, what the hell is a dark-skinned activist? It came from me speaking on Kendrick Lamar and what I viewed as darkism and colorism. Only then did people start making videos and commentary about light skin and dark skin. It came from Rashida Strober. Christelyn Karazin, you didn't do your due diligence, period. Nothing worse than a person that does not do their research. You got people sitting on death row right now because lawyers, investigators have not done their due diligence, and they have convicted innocent people of crimes that they did not commit because they didn't do their due diligence. They didn't do their due diligence. And that's the problem here. Thank you, Dave East. You said, I remember the donkey of the day. That's important because the donkey of the day is the reason when I got donkey of the day for speaking about Kendrick Lamar, that is when everybody else, they said I was crazy. They said, what is a dark-skinned activist? Then they fucking copied everything I did. They started making YouTube channels based on my work. They started doing blogs based on my work. Everybody on Black YouTube copied the fuck out of my work after this donkey of the day. And this has been stuff, as I have shown y'all. I've been on here for an hour, probably, showing proof and evidence that I've been doing this for years. Christelyn Karazin, you did not do your due diligence. Shame on you, period. So 2009, I bring it to the internet. I bring dark skin activism, aka colorism activism, to the internet. 2014, Tommy Sotomayor contacted me on Facebook, and I do have the interview on my channel. It's right there. The very first interview that, now I wouldn't say that Tommy Sotomayor was a part of the development of this thing, my dark skin activism blowing up. But it was only really after the donkey of the day with the Kendrick Lamar debacle, because that particular post and commentary went to millions, including you, Christelyn Karazin. Don't try to sit back and act like you don't know who Rashida Strober is. These people are frauds. You know who I am. This went viral all over the world to millions, not thousands, but millions. So Tommy Sotomayor is a part of my history. I will never deny that. Y'all can say what y'all want. We talk about history here. Tommy Sotomayor brought me on in 2014. He contacted me because somebody had been watching my dark skin activism, aka colorism activism. They told Tommy Sotomayor about me. Tommy Sotomayor contacted me. I have the Facebook messages still, and asked me to come on his show. I didn't know who he was. I went on there and spoke about my dark skin activism that I had been doing for years, that later Black women and other people would copy. 2015 comes along. I continue doing the work. And from that point, the 2015 debacle with the Kendrick Lamar episode is what made dark skin activism known to millions. People had never heard of dark skin activism or colorism activism until I brought it and created it. This is the reason why this donkey of the day the dark skin activists, bringing colorism activism and dark skin activism online. This is why you have other people on YouTube with talking about colorism or dark skin. This is why. I am the reason. They will never be honest, but the timeline doesn't lie. They can lie all they want, but I have the date stamps and the time stamps. It doesn't lie. Google me. It's a simple Google search, and you're going to find articles. You're going to find all of my work. It's right there. Shout out to the person that started the wiki, because you did your research. All the date stamps are there. Everybody copied my work. All of these Black folks online speaking about this, you all owe me, period. You owe me. Once again, Christelyn Karazin, you did not do your research. Now, I have taken y'all on a ride today. I've taken y'all on a ride in the truth, giving y'all the history from 1998 when I gave birth to dark skin activism all the way up until today. But 2015, I stopped at 2015 because I'm letting you know that's when people started copying me about this post. Where's the post at? This is it. This is the picture that they used. You can't erase this history. Copy me all you want. You cannot erase the history of what Rashida Strober created. You can't. Christelyn Karazin, you did not do your research. Shame on you. And shame on any other Black person on YouTube that's spreading misinformation. After the 2015 debacle, that's when all these Black YouTubers, except for Tommy Sotomayor, I'm not going to say Tommy, so I'm going to leave him out of it. Okay? I'm going to leave him out because Tommy Sotomayor, he was ahead of his time. Even though we didn't agree, he brought me on his show. I believe there's a picture that's probably online from 20, and even this person got in on it and copied. They asked me to come on their channel. I didn't ask these people to come on to their platforms. They asked me. That's how it went down. And people need to understand this. I'm looking for it. There it is right here. This is the original 2014 picture, screenshot of me and Tommy Sotomayor in 2014, not 2015 and 2017, where people copying. This goes back to 2014. The original picture after Tommy Sotomayor invited me on his show to talk about my dark skin agenda. In fact, let's click this on and see what comes up, because he used to have it up on his website. I don't know if it's still there. But that's the picture. And you guys could find the interview on my channel. In fact, let me help you out, Christelyn Karazin, because you didn't do your due diligence. Let me type in Rashida Strober, Tommy Sotomayor. And I'm pretty sure that video will pop up on my channel. That first interview that took place in 2014. Actually, I did one with him in 2017 where we reconciled. But there it is right there. I started beefing with him back then. In fact, Tommy Sotomayor and Rashida Strober actually created colorism beefs. We created that. This is all historical fact. This is it right here. This is the interview. And I'm going to throw it in the chat box for those of you that are interested in going back and watching the real history. It's right there. Everything I say is the truth, and I can provide receipts for everything. But like I said, as I kept doing my work as the dark skin activist, the colorism activist, and by the way, this is one of my pictures that I took for an article that was written about me. As I kept doing my work, that's when the Kendrick Lamar debacle came about. And that's when it went viral to millions. And this particular incident is what made everybody start talking on YouTube and writing or blogging about dark skin. They were not doing it before. People trying to give credit to Amara La Negra, please. Amara Lenegger is a benefactor of my work. Spice is a benefactor of my work. None of you created anything. You're benefactors. This is why I don't respect you. I have zero respect for any of them. I do not care about your stories, because if people don't have the decency not steal and rip off my work, if people don't have the decency to not give me credit for my work, I don't give a damn about them. Why should I care about them? You're ripping this book right here, How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. I gave this book away for free to Black women. And what is my thanks? To be ripped off and stolen from. So why should I care about people that are thieving and ripping me off? Explain that. Why should I care? Y'all done lost, some of y'all done lost y'all minds. Some of y'all have completely lost y'all minds. But all I've done today is present nothing but the truth. Nothing but indisputable facts. Okay? All I have done today is present to you nothing but indisputable facts. No one in their right mind can dispute these facts, because they're facts, because they are the truth. There's only one dark-skinned activist. There's only one colorism activist, and that's Rashida Strober. I created the very words dark-skinned activist. Let's be clear, Christelyn Karazin. I created the very word dark-skinned activist, which colorism activist is derived. Let's make that clear. In fact, I'm going to get off this live and do another live on how dark-skinned activism or dark-skinned activists created and gave birth to the word colorism activist. Colorism activist is a derivative of a dark-skinned activist. Say it with me. Let's slow it down. Colorism activist is a derivative of dark-skinned activist created by Rashida Strober. Period. Period. And with that, I'm going to end this whole live right now, because I'm going to give you some more education. I'm going to go. You guys can join me for my next live. And it's going to be called Colorism Activist is a Derivative of Dark-Skinned Activist. And I'm going to break that down. Rashida Strober is the only person in the world to focus exclusively on dark skin and has been doing so since 1998, as demonstrated by a 20-year body of work. Meet the founder and inventor of the first movement in history for dark skin, Rashida Strober, the world's first dark skin activist, founder of dark skin activism created in 1998. She's interviewed in Harlem after her show on the Dark Skin Activist Tour.
All right, so I am here with Rashida Strober, finally getting a chance to meet her face to face. She's been on my show twice.
Yep.
Me and Unique. Yep. Unique should be logging on soon. And, you know, there were a few people that didn't get a chance to hear the interview, which they can log on and see. Who is that? See, I can't even see because I'm so blind. Heather Shack. Okay, so let me just say something about Heather really quickly. Heather enjoyed you so much the first time that you were on the show. She was actually one of the ones that was like, no, she has to come back. And thank you, Heather. Again. So I don't know, Heather, if you have a question, but we don't have a lot of time. But if you don't have a question that you want to pose, I just want to start off with a question that I've asked Rashida a million times before, which is what inspired her to do a dark-skinned woman's revenge. So in case y'all didn't hear the answer on my show, she can answer now.
Yeah, just my life experiences of wanting to tell my truth. That's really wanting to tell my truth.
In 1998, Rashida Strober created dark skin activism, the first movement in history to advocate for dark skinned people, and called herself the dark skin activist. Rashida created the phrases dark skin activist and dark skin activism. Rashida also coined the word darkism. She is the first person in recorded history to create a movement of this kind. She is the first artist, author, actress, YouTuber, and social commentator to focus her work only on dark skin, which others have copied, but Rashida have been doing so since 1998. She's written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world. Her books can be found at darkskinactivist.com. Rashida has been touring the country since 2006, giving darkism lectures and performances of her play. For bookings, go to darkskinactivist.com. Books include A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story. Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment. The 20-year legacy of the dark-skinned activist continues. For more on Rashida's 20-plus years as the world's first and only dark-skinned activist and colorism activist, visit colorismactivist.com. aka darkskinactivist.com. That's colorismactivist.com, aka darkskinactivist.com.